So this is a new question for our answers from the middle segment that we do from time to time. You can write in from the middle at protonmail.com. You can comment in any one of our social media posts, or you can call us. There's a phone number in our link tree that's posted everywhere. What are you guys' thoughts on someone grabbing a drink, perhaps even a snack, in a big store like Meijer or Walmart right when they walk through the door to consume while they're shopping? They're not paying for it yet. They plan on paying for it with the rest of their things when they're done. What do you think about pulling that move? Have you done it before?
I've never done it before. My mom used to do that. I feel like that's one of those things that like people used to do all the time with no problem, but maybe there's problems today. I think my wife has done that like a handful of times. I could be wrong about that, but I don't know. I don't have a problem with other people doing it. I would be horribly uncomfortable doing it myself.
Why is that?
I don't know. I feel like it looks suspicious, right? I don't want to look suspect. I just have this nagging feeling that people are going to see me, drinking my Mountain Dew and thinking he's going to throw that away, isn't he? And that right there is enough peer pressure to keep me from trying. So,
I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that a little bit further. I'll start by saying I don't have a problem with it in theory. However, I don't want some kind of phony outrage or somebody to record reactions for social media points when somebody asks them if they're going to pay for it or if they've paid for it already, and then be like taken aback and it like pretending to be taken aback because it's like, of course I'm going to pay for that. Oh, who do you think I am? How dare you? Some sort of like over the top reaction to somebody like, hey man, are you gonna pay for that? Or, you know what I mean? So like, don't do it for a social media reaction. Don't do it to claim some sort of like stereotype or whatever. If somebody asks you if you're going to pay for the drink, in theory, I don't have a problem with it. I can think of one time that I have done it for the other part of that question. I was at checkout, like we were in line already, but not putting our things in the conveyor belt. And the person, I was very thirsty. I kind of looked up front and I didn't see any water fountains near bathrooms or anything. So the cashier happened to look back at me and I just said, I'm going to open this, like, kind of gesturing to them what I was doing. And they kind of like nodded, but I was in line to pay. So I wasn't going to be walking about the store, like just swigging a drink or whatever. Yeah. I don't think I have a problem with it in theory though. I think it's fine.
You're just saying you should fully expect to be questioned.
You might be questioned, and don't act outraged if somebody asks if you're going to pay for your drink.
Yeah, we probably live in a day and age where people who work retail have seen far more people shoplift than they have noticed people like drinking something through the store to pay for it later.
Yeah.
So they have a reason to be, unfortunately, I feel like they probably have good reason to be leery of the general public these days.
This feels like every story of every person who's worked in a movie theater that's like, we know every version of you sneaking food and drinks into the store. Quit running around giggling like little kids. You're not sneaking. No, we just don't care. Like, yes, we've seen a teenager flip another teenager and wrap a coat around them and waddle in, with bags of food and Taco Bell tacos in your coat pocket. We just don't care.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of the response. Just don't be obnoxious about it. Like, don't just toss your drink on the ground. Don't not pay for it. But if you're going to just drink it and then walk up and pay for it and not make a big deal about it, then fine.
I've done it one, maybe two times when it's, you're parched. It's a hot day. You walk in the store and you're like, I fully intend on paying for this. I'm just going to scan the same barcode. When I'm done, it'll just be empty. Because this isn't the days of Hills when you could get an icy and some popcorn on your way in.
Mm-hmm.
Remember those days?
Yeah. Well, you still can at Target. I think they're the only ones left that have a little snack counter that you can stop by.
Yeah.
That you have to pay for separately.
Right.
But still, just wondered you guys' thoughts on that, because we went to Meijer the other day, and it's Meijer with no S, by the way.
Indeed.
And I walked in with the fam, and I was going to do it again. I didn't, but not for fear of like Kendall's fear of like peer pressure. I was just like, I don't need it that bad this time around. But I have been in a situation where I'm like, I hope nobody thinks me shady for doing this. Still going to pay for it, but it's like $1.25 or whatever. Yeah. You spend so much mental energy thinking about the possible ramifications of such a decision.
You know, one situation where not only do I not care, but I would probably encourage it myself. If a parent was like, hey, my kid was about to have a meltdown and we got into whatever food aisle and I grabbed a thing of something and opened it up and gave him a snack cake or gave him some candy or got him a banana. Hey, I need to pay for this, you know, because my kid, I'd be like, totally get it. You know, your kid's hangry. It can't control, you know, its emotions.
Drinks for an adult is one thing. In that instance, snacks for a kid makes sense. But snacks for an adult feels like a very different thing. For some reason, when you reach for a bag of Cheetos, that feels shadier than I grabbed myself a Mountain Dew Code Red on the way through. I'm going backwards through the checkout aisle that's empty, and I just grab one.
What? I was a little hungry in my belly, and I grabbed some Cheetos.
Well, I mean, so I think that, like, I also don't really have a I kind of do. Don't really have a problem though with people checking out a grape orally before they buy a bunch of them. And I'm like, what if so then I'm thinking like, what if I'm not going to like the new Doritos flavor, you know? I don't have a problem with popping a bag or like just a quarter, and grabbing a chip, chomping down on it. If you don't like it, that's why you carry Scotch tape in your pocket.
If you're already going for the grapes, just get yourself some meats and cheeses while you're there and build yourself a little charcuterie plate. I wanted to sample it first. What's the big deal, Steve?
So I slipped open a Sargento. Big deal.
Yeah. Now, listen, if you don't want me to drink right out of the carton, you need to put plastic cups next to the milk. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, what about the bulk aisle? Like where you could just go through there with your hand open.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Pre-COVID.
Here's another question though. And I think this is going to be even more, even less of a critical situation. Is anyone questioning that in a gas station versus what we've been discussing, like a Target or a Meijer, or like if you're standing in row at in like a Speedway, I don't think there's any question that it's fine.
No, I was going to say the opposite. You could be in Meijer or Walmart for a while. This is about endurance. And if your wife is a shopper, like has to go up and down every aisle, she's not like a walk in, grab what I need and go. You could be there for a minute. If you can't wait long enough at a convenience store to just wait till you've already paid for the Mountain Dew to start chugging it, that feels like, come on. You're in there for 4 minutes.
If there's like a line of 2 or 3 people at the cash register and you're in that line, kind of like in Dylan's situation, I can understand it. I used to cashier at a gas station through college, and I tell you what, in that retail atmosphere, you see shoplifting all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
all the time it happens, and you can't really do anything about it, and which sucks. And so, yeah, like you totally see people on a regular basis come in, start snacking on something, or like put a hot dog together and chow it down real quick, and then leave. Like they don't even care if you saw them. It seems
the audacity.
See, that to me feels like an even more casual atmosphere than like Target or Meijer, to where my assumption is if I'm going in, it's because I had to go to the bathroom until I saw it and then change my mind. or I needed a snack or a drink. That's exactly, I mean, yes, everyone can pay off their card now at the gas pump. So like the assumption for me is if you're going in, of course you want some kind of snack, drink, maybe cigarettes, sure, but like that's why you're going in. So if I'm grabbing a drink and I'm grabbing a thing of Oreos and I eat a sleeve of Oreos while I'm waiting in line and half my Mountain Dew, obviously I'm in there to buy them.
Yeah. Well,
I see what you're saying. It's interesting though that I jumped to the time spent in the store, and that one is for like survival.
Yeah, funny you mentioned the bathroom. Like that's another thing you find in a gas station bathroom. You just find packaging for the stuff that you sell.
Yeah, that's funny.
Anyway, I'm glad that this discussion went where it did with that question. That was a good one.